Hi, my name is Kate. I'm also known as Two Little Kits, and welcome to my FlossTube. I have some good updates with my works in progress. I have a new finished piece that wasn't even on my last FlossTube because I began it since my last episode, and some stuff that's been happening in my personal life. So let's get started. I want to start this FlossTube episode by not begging, but asking for ideas on what I could do for my upcoming 100th episode. This is episode number 97, so I'm really close to that 100, which is just really amazing. I never expected I would stick to this for such a long time. I think I started recording my FlossTube back in 2021. I initially was gonna do it every week, but I very quickly, like as in after 2 episodes, I think it was, realized that I didn't have enough to talk about. And I also didn't have the capacity to give myself the time every single week to editing and recording. So yeah, it has been almost every 2 weeks. There have been, I think, 2 or 3 episodes where I've had to wait an extra week for whatever reason, like I had surgery or I was really sick or I just didn't have enough time or whatever it was. Yeah, so it's coming up really soon, and I would love to hear what you personally would love to see as a celebration of 100 episodes. So drop a comment below or send me a message through social media or some way. That would be amazing. I've got like a little cut right on the edge of my mouth. I keep wanting to lick it, but I'm trying not to. Ugh. Anyway, what should we start with today? I have my computer off today, so my lighting is a little bit weird, but my computer was being really like clunky. It was really noisy, so I just have my phone and no faux lighting. What should we start with today? Let's start with my finished piece, which is also a good start of just stitching content in general. So my finished piece is my latest pattern as well, which is this piece here. It's called Not Less, and I released it for Autism Awareness Day. So as you can see, it reads different but not less. And it basically is bringing awareness, giving a space for a conversation, whatever you deem appropriate, of talking about autism, and that it is not a disease, that it's not something that can be cured, not something that makes a person lesser or worse or anything like that. It's just a neurological disorder that a lot of people have that just makes them different. So yeah, I wanted to make something that was really beginner friendly. This is, yeah, super beginner friendly. I've even designed it in a way that if the amount of colors is too much, you can actually take out some of the colors and reduce it down to a more manageable amount and an easier amount to stitch, because sometimes beginners find it hard to do little gaps of colors, like what you see how the colors merge together. So there's 5 colors here, and I've done the design where you can remove those and change it so that the shapes are like overlapping, not overlapping in color, but overlapping in distance, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. This is very beginner friendly. It is just cross stitches. There is no back stitches. It's really obvious if you remove the color, like the 5 extra colors, of which color goes where. And yeah, it's a super, what am I trying to say? It's a low price point as well, because I know the state of the world right now, especially for Americans, things are really tough. So this is just right now, as a recording, $2 to get. Yeah, I wanted to make something that was very easy, and I can't think of the word. The closest thing I think of is approachable, but that's not the right word. Maybe in editing I'll figure out the right word. I can like add it here or something. But yeah, so this is Not Less. It's available on my website and on my Ko-fi and on my Etsy store. I hope you grab it, and if you do, let me know what you think and show me, you know, your work in progress or your finished piece. That would be great. Just because I left the back empty, this is what my back looks like. Some people like to see the backs of work. So yeah. Ta-da! What else has been going on that's stitchy? I talked last FlossTube about the fact that I should have new patterns designed for Teacher Appreciation Week, which is in a month as of today. And I don't, and I feel really bad about that. And I'm going to feel really rushed. Hopefully I get everything done in time. Fingers crossed for me, please, because it's important to me, especially this year with my oldest leaving elementary school, that I get these pieces done in time. But it's something that I need to work on soon, hopefully this week, and then I'll have something to share next FlossTube. But yeah, I wanted to do an update on that because I just did, I guess. I don't know. The other thing that's Two Little Kits related is I discovered a website called Substack, and I'm giving that a try as Two Little Kits. I haven't promoted it anywhere, so like if you don't know about it, that's totally understandable. But it's right now, I don't really know what I want to get out of it exactly, but I'm just kind of playing around with it. That's why I'm not advertising it anywhere. I will put a link in the description to that Substack if that's something that you're interested in. Right now it's just got a couple of my blog posts on there, just because, yeah, like I said, I'm just trying it out and seeing if it's a platform that I would like to continue using. So yeah, the last thing that's Two Little Kits related is I have 2 new blog posts on my website, and I will read the titles from my phone, so I apologize. The first one is the little mice commission piece that I was commissioned earlier this year. It's the blog post for that piece, so it has close-up pictures of the piece itself and all of that good stuff, and just like information about the process and everything. So that both of these will be in the description if you want to check out the links for them. So that one is, yeah, the tiny tribute. The other blog post is Stitching for Inclusion. It's about this, basically. So nothing like crazy new or unexpected for blog posts this fortnight. I actually thought I'd done more. I thought I'd done at least one more blog post, but I checked before I started recording and I don't. I have a couple in the works. I am just sort of dragging my feet when it comes to figuring out the graphics for said blog posts. So there'll be new stuff coming, and hopefully it's helpful for somebody. So yeah, links will be in the description if you want to check those out. If you do, that's amazing, and leave a comment on those posts. That obviously helps my website's SEO and all that good stuff. So yeah. Thank you for checking those out. Let's move on to works in progress. I have like I said at the start, I have some good news. I have caught up, except for today. I haven't stitched today's one, but I have caught up with my Flower Meadow. This is it, as you will have seen on the thumbnail. I might move this just for this part. There we go. That's a bit better. So that's my Flower Meadow as of yesterday. So I'll be honest, I had to do a lot of catch up. I realized Thursday this week that I had completely neglected this since before last FlossTube. So it was at a point where like I didn't even have anything to share for this episode because I hadn't stitched anything on it. So what I did was I rolled the dice a bunch. I designed based on where I was up to, every single flower for each day that was missing. So it was like here or something, and I had to do all that and then all that. And that really helped because I was able to stitch all the stems, all the grass, and then all the leaves, and then do each flower. So I didn't have to didn't have to cut off the floss for every single green that I needed to do. So that helped a bunch. And then so I stitched up to the end of March. As you can see here, I've got my little March, April signs. So I stitched all the way up to the end of March. I took a picture because I'm gonna sneak that in as my monthly blog post picture of this instead of where I was at on the 1st of April. And then I was like, okay, cool, I've done that, taken my picture, and now I'll stitch the rest of the flowers. Completely forgetting that I needed to do this bit here. So I stitched all the greens, like both greens, and I did 3 of the 4 flower colors, and then I was like, Oh man. So I had to unpick all of that, and then I miscounted. So I'd done the two signs, the two brown parts, the signs. No, sorry, I stitched the pole, and then I went to start stitching the sign, and I miscounted that because each sign is it's a 4x4 square with the triangle as the point, and I'd forgotten to factor in the point. So I had to unpick that, and yeah, it was a whole ordeal in a nutshell. But I got there, it's done, and I'm super happy with it. I've rolled the dice for today. I just haven't stitched today's flower. It's actually this purple that's here from 2 days ago. I keep getting similar colors, similar rolls. So I'm very curious if my dice are loaded, like somehow. Anyway, so that's my Flower Meadow, and put that away. I had to go back downstairs and get it because I was actually going to stitch it before this, but I had to play Uno instead. My next work in progress is actually cool. I got this strap for it because this is my car project, and then I can go like this. If I'm standing around instead of sitting somewhere, I can, you know, hang it off my wrist while I stitch. I'm such a loser. Anyway, I've done a fair bit on this piece this fortnight. I'm still in part 3, which is fine. I'm getting close to completing it though. So here it is. I'm working on the tree, obviously, like the bottom of the tree. And then there's these 2 mushrooms. They're almost done. They just need the white, but the white's the last color. So I'm currently doing the really dark brown that is around the tree and the sign, and it'll be the welcome word as well. So that's coming along. This one's almost fully released, this pattern. I think there's only one more part to come out, and that'll come out, I think, when I next record my FlossTube, the last part will come out, if I remember correctly. So yeah, there's that one. That piece is The Secret Grove by Needle Lot Designs. The next work in progress is Court of Crows Stitch Along by Fine Frog Stitching. So that's this piece here. I am caught up except for what was released yesterday, which is the flame for this torch here. So it's another tiny release. Oh, I guess I didn't get to, oh no, I think I did because I printed it out before I started recording. So the first release was the flowers that you see on the side here, so it was really small, and then the second release was the actual crow here, the jester. All right, this is not holding up very well. So I like I said, I am caught up, just not from what was just released yesterday, because I'm recording this on Saturday this time. I was all ready to record yesterday. As soon as I had set up everything, the neighbors started power washing somewhere outside, and they did it for like the entire day. So I didn't get to record yesterday, which I normally do on a Friday. Anyway, that's this piece here. So I'm going to do this little flame. It'll probably only take like, it's so small, it'll probably only take me like half an hour to do tops. But yeah, there's that. This is super cute. I'm really liking this one. When I pre-ordered this stitch along, I got another one of her patterns too. I've actually got it ready with floss, I think. No, that's not it. I've got it somewhere. I've got it ready with the fabric and 2 of the floss colors in a project bag somewhere because I was going to work on it, but I got distracted with other stuff, I guess. So yeah, that's that one. And my last work in progress is the bus pieces. So technically one of them is finished. So I could say I have a finished piece, and let's share that one first. So that's this one here. It's, as you can see, it's not completely done because it's still not hooped or anything like that, but that's the first one. This one is always going to be super easy. There's 2 that are super easy. There's this one, and then there's the one that's just a bus. So that one is almost done too, but the other ones will have embroidered hair, so they're a little bit more fiddly. But I'm doing really well with these. But that's the first one, and it'll look like that. Yay! Now, let's move on to the works in progress pieces. Just take a sec. All right, so these are all in order. If I don't keep them in order, then I'm gonna be, blah! I don't know. That's the first one. Or I guess this is the second one, because the first one was this one. So that's that one. And then this one. And then this is the easy one because this is just a bus. So this one, all the cross stitching is done. I am pretty sure, I'm like 99.9% certain all the cross stitching is done with this one. It's just back stitching that needs to be done. And so like you can see the difference. You can see the difference in the bus shapes. I talked about that last episode, but like you can see the difference in how the buses look when the back stitching is done compared to when it's not. It'll look way better than just that when it is done. This is the second last one, and this is the last one. So yeah, they're coming along really well. Actually, thinking about it, I think potentially all of the cross stitching is done on all of them. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So all I got to do is the back stitching and the hair for ones that need hair. That's exciting. I didn't realize that. I mean, I did realize because I finished this one because I told myself once I finished all the cross stitching, I was just going to do the pieces one at a time and just finish them as I go. So yeah, I finished this one because I finished all the cross stitching. So I did know, I just forgot. I'm rambling today. So yeah, those are my bust pieces. I'm thinking I will put a hold on and focus on the teacher pieces that I need to design and then stitch, because these pieces don't need to be done until late May, whereas the teacher ones need to be done at the start of May. Okay. Anyway, that's all my works in progress and a finished piece. My phone's gone to sleep. The last thing to chat about is just stuff that's been happening in my personal life. Obviously nothing that's too personal. To update on last FlossTube, if you may or may not remember, I was very sick. It turns out I needed antibiotics, so I feel much better now. Hooray, because I finished that course of antibiotics. But yeah, I wasn't getting better and it was getting ridiculous. I only took one, like I took the first one and I did finish the whole course. But once I took the first one, I woke up the next day and I was already so much better. So that was awesome. Like, it was very validating to know that I was correct. So I've unfortunately had to put a hold on martial arts. I won't go into big details, but basically money is rough right now. You may or may not remember that my husband has been doing a startup since almost for 2 years now. Yeah, where he and I are sort of sacrificing things that we want to continue doing, but are not required to exist. And for me, that's martial arts, because it is kind of a big expense. So I'm pretty bummed out about that, but I can keep doing like practice at home, which is at least something, because I've got the mat in our garage. I've got the videos, like access to the video classes that they pre-recorded and stuff like that. So I've got that at least, but it is a big bummer. Like, my friends that I have at martial arts are ahead of me in belts now, whereas previously, and like my surgeries and stuff haven't helped, but previously I was ahead of them. So now they're taking over me and will be like ready to be a Bodan ahead of me. And I was looking forward to doing those kinds of things with someone that I enjoyed doing martial arts with. So yeah, I'm pretty bummed out, but I'm not giving up on it. It is something that I'm like upset about. So I wanted to bring it up because it is like, I did sort of have it as a identifier for me that I do martial arts. But anyway, I don't really know what else to say about it. I just wanted to bring it up, I guess. Some good news though, I went to see my foot doctor this week. And basically I am doing really well. He doesn't see any issues with my foot. The only thing is that it seems as though the blood supply is not the best going to that toe. So I've been recommended to take a supplement, which I can't remember what it's called, but I need to talk to my surgeon's office about whether or not I can take that before I start taking it, because also it's not cheap, but that helps with blood supply and blood flow to extremities especially. So yeah, but it's really nice to know that I'm doing a good job and that PT helped especially. And I don't know if acupuncture helped or not, but it definitely didn't hinder things. So yay, things are looking good. Anyway, just know that things are doing really well in the toe situation, and I'm very relieved about that. So yay. I will put a link in the description to an episode where I've talked about my toe issues. I will at least try to remember to do that in case you're new to following me and you have no idea what I'm talking about, because I won't go into it in depth. And the last thing, because I know there's one more thing, but my phone went to sleep. Yes. So the last thing is that this coming week, I am going to my oldest daughter's school camp. And so I have that on the brain. It's a 2-night camp. So we leave Wednesday, we come back Friday. If you don't know, my oldest daughter is special needs, and to be able to go to camp, she needed a parent chaperone to go with her. And it had to be the same gendered parent, so had to be me. So I'm nervous about going on camp, but I'm also really excited to go on her camp and just try my very best to step back and just be an observer and just watch her have fun. That's my hope that I can do, and just help her to regulate if she needs help regulating, to advocate for her when she needs it, and just help her with like the daily living stuff that we do at home. That's my hope, that all I have to be is that. So fingers crossed for me. If you have any tips, especially those of you who are parents of kids with special needs, please let me know. I would be very appreciative of any tips of things to take that I may have forgotten. I do have this packing list sorted for both of us. I've got like a designated area just over there of where I've been collecting things that we need to pack that I don't need to use like until camp. So yeah, I'm excited. I am excited, and over preparing is how I handle my nerves. So yeah, we'll see how things go. I'll be able to talk about it next FlossTube. I'm planning on taking some sort of generic photos that I can use that doesn't show like the kids' faces and stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully I'll have cool things to share, because I'm allowed to take photos because I can take my phone. And that's everything, I think. I really did try my best to keep on top of notes for this past week, so I don't have anything else in my notes to chat about. So thanks so much for watching. Again, just a reminder, if you have any things that you would love to see as a celebration for 100 episodes of FlossTube, please let me know in the comments. That would be really helpful. I do have an idea of what I will do, but if like someone has better ideas, then that's better. So yeah, let me know, please. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you're not already. That really helps me out with the algorithm. Share it with your friends. That helps me get reach with other like-minded people. I truly appreciate those of you who do like, comment, subscribe, all those awesome things. So until next time, wish me luck with camp, and I will see you around the internet. Bye.